Just a heads up, this reference pack has not safe for work content in it. For my favorite month of all the trends, Mermaid, where you draw mermaids or anything sea life oriented, etc. Studio Graphite Studio has come up with these sirens and sailors reference pictures. Really great stuff. So I'll be drawing from these, probably doing some sketches, maybe coming up with a scene. If anything not safe for work comes up, I'll either blur it out or skip it. I already recorded one session of this and it didn't record sound for some reason because whatever. Yeah, we got some gestural stuff. This was the warm-up part. And then we had a little scene going with the mermaid pulling a dude down. Really fun reference pack. Okay, cool. Let's draw. And feel free to draw along. I'm gonna keep it short and simple, 5-minute sketches. I'm using the round brush, not the usual textured brush this time. No particular reason, just for having fun. First thing I want to start with is an anchor point, which is that hand there. And keep it simple, very loose, nothing too crazy. And then block in the gesture of the figure here. And we'll be rounding this off a little bit to imply a mermaid fin, tail. And then the other hand. We know that the other hand is aligned with this one, but slightly higher. So it's going to be here, but a little bit higher. Get the knuckles in. All right, cool. Let's get this hand kind of blocked in like that. Just simple shapes for now. Just looking for these little triangles. Nothing too particular. And we got this. Be sure to blur that part out. And the head. I'll loosely put that in like that. And we got the character here. Let's put a line angled upward like this for the shoulders at that angle. Sneak in the clothing there. Look how happy he looks. Even though mermaids, according to the original lore by Hans Christian Andersen of The Little Mermaid, mermaids were very dark, playful creatures, drowning sailors and playing with their bones and really vicious situations. Okay. I want to find out where the top of this head is. So if I look at the top of this, there's an angle that goes up just like that. And obviously the angle isn't like this. It's not, you know, low like that. It's somewhere in between. Now I'm looking at that negative space between them. Okay, just going to put some circles for the eye sockets and just shade them in. A quick shout out and thank you to everybody who hit that like button in the last video. Got pretty high. We only got 1 or 2 dislikes, which is kind of cool. Alright, we got our dude. Dude. He's wearing gloves. There's a cat shadow underneath her arm. Just gonna sneak that in real quick. And let's draw that head. Okay, the hair actually goes out further this way. And we got a triangle, kind of like this. And a straight line for the brow ridge. Little triangle for the eye, another triangle for the nose. Very small triangle, relatively speaking, because this area is much bigger down here. There's a little tiny triangle for the mouth from this angle. She's doing more of a shrug with her shoulder here, so I'm going to push that up a little bit. Her hand should be higher, so erase that, no problem. Okay, let's add some more interesting mermaid kind of stuff. Maybe some fins. Maybe if we made the hair a little longer. Definitely in the zone right now. Yeah, it's cool. Real quick, to kind of show more of a reflective quality of the, I guess, whatever it is that you're sketching, since I'm wanting to imply almost shiny skin, maybe silvery or metallic, if you have a cylinder and let's say we just wanted to imply some light on it, you could put a, a core shadow highlight situation along the form and geometry of it. And that would kind of show the illusion of form and light. Now to show something that's, shiny, you would make sure you include this side of the shadow as well as this side. And instead of doing this, where it's like, okay, well, yeah, the form is there, but to kind of have more reflectivity or chrome-like or anything that's super reflective, you kind of want to have both. And to take that even further, you make those pretty sharp, right? So now it looks like it's metallic and chrome and even semi-gloss being sprayed onto a 3D object. So over here, I did exactly that with just 2 strokes. Now, granted, I could go in there and make it more accurate and blah, blah. Even by making it darker, it lends more to that reflective quality and really isolating that center highlight to pop out. All these amazing tips that you get from my content. Now we can do that for the whole fishtail thing. And of course, none of that can be done unless you understand the form of that which you are drawing. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. That's a cool sailor. It'd be a nice portrait study. Cool. This could be some good warm-ups for the course content I have to record later today. All right, let's start with some gestural stuff. I got the arms here. Scribbly-doo, scribbly-doo-dah. Okay, got some shapes doing that. And then the head up here. Cool. Then we got the sword coming through like that. And the eyes are angled this way. Get the eye sockets in there, no problem. Get the beard. And the ear goes over there. Nice. Right on. Now let's compose this. And a sort of tip, which I'll go into more depth in the course, for composition and understanding how to frame things. At least one trick that's been helping me a lot is kind of framing things for context. I might have done this in a previous video, but you want to find the focal points that are actually important for your design. So let's make a new layer. And if I had to zoom in and crop certain areas, as if they're, on Instagram, you can post like 10 images. But if I wanted to crop certain areas to say, hey, look at this area, let's bring focus to that detail, whatever, what would those be? So the first thing would be, you have the overall image and then the details, the head, right? And I could either have the top of the head be visible, or I can crop it right here. Either way is fine. But what I'm going to do is just do some compositional elements. Now, he's centered right there. That's fine. But I kind of want to offset it. So he's either this way or that way, making more tension, pulling the composition to the left or the right. Right. So we have something like that. I like that. Let's turn that off and make a new layer. We do it again. And I like to call this one the bookmark crop. So if we had to crop it for a bookmark, obviously we can't have the whole thing. What and how much do we want to put in here? So if we have, just any kind of bookmark, there's longer ones and skinnier ones, doesn't matter. Do we want the face centered perfectly like that? Do we want this to be smaller and it's a small crop like this? It's up to you, but doing this on layers will help you a lot and it'll make sense very shortly. So I think let's make this maybe shorter and something like that. The reason I picked it to be here is it kind of adds this nice framing element that the negative space gives us to have as breathing room to look at the head. All right, so let's turn that off and let's do a couple more frames. You could do 3, 4, 5 frames. So this next one is more of a cinematic crop. What if we had to crop it for a cinematic shot, wide angle? All right, well, obviously we're not gonna crop it down here unless, you know, well, you could for like a storyboard and like have a pan up like, you know, I'm the character. Let's make it taller. It's approximately 1:2 ratio. Here we can make it taller for I think a 9:16 ratio. But yeah, let's say we want to kind of show a dramatic shot of the character. It could be something like this. It could be even smaller like that. So it's you know, a close up. But let's make it bigger and have him cropped like that. So let's say we do a couple crops like this, and you turn on all the layers, and then you have this kind of average of these are the most important areas. So once you have these established, you can sort of crop here and, you know, find an average here. But when you go to paint it, you could literally just put dark stuff in these areas. And just naturally by doing that, kind of brings focus to our shot or our character. You could even do something like this. But it's almost like saying, hey, everyone, look here. This is where I want you to look. And it doesn't have to be darkness, but it could be really any kind of visual cue. So in these spots, I could put rafters. I could put, you know, a wooden board up here. Over here, I could put the background of something, and maybe he's leaning on a thing inside a ship or a boat or some kind of tavern. And if you look at this, now we have these subdivision crops, and we can do some kind of element here, maybe some wood beams that help frame this area, right? And so if we turn off that red, now we're starting to just build, almost mathematically, a composition. And I think we'll go with this. I like it. Let's just go ahead and lower the opacity on all that and just draw the actual dude. I will actually grab the textured brush here just for some of that kind of gritty feel of texture. I'm just gonna block things in, not too much detail. Okay. So another thing I talk about more in depth in the course is regarding brush economy, and this is kind of a sub-context thing. But if you have a big area like this for the beard, to be efficient, I might rename it as brush efficiency. You don't want to use a small brush and, you know, fill that in. You might as well use a big brush and just do that with one stroke. That'll help you be more efficient with your paintings and your studies as well. We'll also be talking about the planes of the face and facial features and the forms and how we break everything down. If I ever go into long bouts of silence like this, it's usually indicative that I'm in the zone. Danger zone. Oh, he has a pipe. Getting a Coke Zero?
Yeah.
Nice. Could you not make sound, dude? I'm recording?
Can you cut it out?
I don't want to cut this out.
Is that stylized portraits 3?
No, this is a Reference Wednesday.
Still?
Yeah, I had to
First Wednesday?
Yeah, I had to re-record it, dude.
Jeez. It's a long Reference Wednesday.
Well, because I recorded the first time and I lost all the audio.
True.
That's my buddy Steven Davidian. He's helping me with my course. He's a 3D modeler.
Edit it out.
Nope, keeping that in. Dude, people don't care. They're all just normal people. We don't have to pretend I'm the only person that exists in the world when they're watching the video. Anyway. I made the head smaller here. It was deliberate. No, it wasn't. I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it looks fine. And we're going to keep this as a black and white image. One thing I'd highly, highly recommend for understanding composition and flow dynamics and all that stuff is 2 books by the same author, Marcus Mateo. The books are called Framed Ink and Framed Ink 2. Both equally just profound with the knowledge that he shares. DreamWorks artist, storyboard artist, comics. He's just an absolute mastermind. And he breaks things down really well. And my recommendation, if you were to grab those books, is to study each chapter and try to do some artwork based on the things you're learning per chapter so that it really gets, driven home. It reminded me because I'm kind of coloring this in, not coloring it in, but putting in the values similar to how he does in the books. Cool. We could just have a little bit of fun, make a quick value study out of this. Let's put some gray in there, make it a little darker. I like to push and pull values as opposed to starting with a white background. And just kind of peek over here and say, well, where are the highlights? Easy. Don't even have to look. Just kind of look this way and say, I know area there's going to be light. And since I already did the drawing part, the rest of it just kind of falls into place. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. I am a jokester. I'm laughing out loud. I'm going to make the background behind him here bright so that the shadow side of his face kind of stands out as a silhouette. beautiful. I like it. Cool. I want to bring out that shape of the sword. Can use a lasso tool this time. Let's see how that works. Gonna make a big shape like this. Doesn't have to be super accurate. I know. Okay. And we're just gonna grab a gray color. Where the lasso tool is selected against the dark background, I'm actually gonna make it brighter. I know in the reference it's darker, but I want it to stand out as if there's a bit of light hitting it. You as the artist have the choice to push and pull values like that, even if it's not like that in the reference. And now since it's on its own layer, we can actually manipulate that, make it even brighter on the edge there, as well as here. And there. Cool. You learn so much from watching my content. That was a Jedi mind trick. And it worked. You can actually learn a lot from Ethan Becker's videos too. And Cynics, whatever, that guy. He's too good. He's not allowed to be on this platform. He streams, by the way, every night. Almost every night. Every weekday. I've been catching the streams here and there, hopping in the chat. Every time I go in there, it for some reason just so happens to be they happen to be talking about me in the chat. And I'll just hop in like, oh, we summoned him. Did you now? Or was it that I just keep showing up at the same time every day? Ooh, that's a good nose. I wasn't even paying attention. Just sort of happened. I heard that.
Sorry.
Steven, when are you going to do a face reveal? Wait, don't you have a YouTube channel? What is it?
You're seriously going to edit all this out.
Really?
Actually.
Uh-huh. Maybe. Oh, dude, that's a good face. Steven.
Yo.
You know when you're like drawing and painting and then you kind of take a moment to look at what you're doing and you're like, God damn, that's good.
No, I don't actually have that feeling.
What? You don't feel that every 10 seconds?
No.
Weird. I feel like everyone feels that. Now, I've gone through enough self-hatred and beating myself up for my flaws that I've come to a place where I'm learning to appreciate the good and accepting myself and all that fun stuff. Hey, can I get a crit real quick?
Yeah, I will, but as long as all this gets edited out.
Yeah, no, I'll edit it out. It took me 5 minutes. Like, just chill. Where are you? Where'd you go? You're not in the video.
Yeah, like it's good.
It's good.
I was expecting.
You were expecting what?
Dude, this is like long enough for a reference Wednesday, bro.
I need you to calm down. Freaking out
They're so lucky. They get so much content for free.
I mean, they pay me with likes. I'm not cutting that out.
Edit all of that out. Just put a timeline.
All right.
Oh, it looks really good, dude.
Thanks, man. and flatten everything. This might be my favorite piece I've done so far with Reference Wednesday. Yeah, I gotta get back to recording content for the course and editing it. It's a lot more work than I expected. Thanks for watching. Something like button, etc. Subscribe, blah blah blah. Thanks for watching.
No, redo that.
Redo it. That was perfect.
Tell them to subscribe.
I just did.
You just said blah blah blah.
They're not stupid. They'll get it. Okay. No, but yeah, be sure to check out the links in the description for the new Graffiti Studio pack. It's awesome. Their content always blows me away. And shout out to them. They've been really cool. They did an exclusive photo shoot of portrait reference for my digital painting course. With like I requested special lighting and angles, and because I want to talk about the difficult angles of the drawing from below and side and all that. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.